Anyone who's ever traded knows this feeling. The market just turns on you and suddenly your account is just bleeding red. It's that pit in your stomach, that gut-wrenching experience that can test even the most disciplined person. So today, let's dive into the psychology of the losing streak and, more importantly, how to come out stronger on the other side.
Just look at this number, -12%. That isn't just a statistic on a screen, is it? No, that's a feeling. That's the knot in your stomach, the screen you kind of don't want to look at, and it's that little voice of doubt that starts whispering in your ear.
And yeah, let's be real. It feels like you failed. It feels like your strategy's broken, your judgment is shot, and maybe, just maybe, you're not cut out for this. Trust me, every single trader from the absolute beginner to the seasoned pro has been right here. It's a totally universal part of the game.
To really get this, let's stop talking in hypotheticals and look at a real-world story. Let's dig into the story of a professional trader who was staring this exact crisis right in the face.
Now, we're not talking about some rookie here. This is someone who does this for a living, whose entire career is built on having a solid process and iron discipline. But you know what? The market doesn't care one bit about your resume, and they are in a deep, painful drawdown.
And just how bad is it? Well, here's the reality of their situation. 8 of their last 10 trades have been losers. That's an 80% loss rate. Can you just imagine the pressure?
With every single one of those red trades, that doubt just gets louder and louder. You know that little voice in your head? It's screaming right now. Is my edge gone? Has the market changed? Should I just stop? Or should I double down to make it all back? This is the internal chaos that a losing streak creates. And that temptation to just throw a perfectly good plan out the window, it's almost overwhelming.
So, what do you think they did? What would you do? Did they panic? Did they start revenge trading, just desperately trying to claw back those losses? Or did they just chuck their entire strategy in the trash and start from scratch?
Well, what they did next is exactly what separates the pros who make it from everyone else. They didn't rely on hope, and they didn't give in to fear. They relied on their anchor.
You know what they did? Absolutely nothing. Or, well, nothing to change their plan anyway. They refused to let this short-term emotional storm knock them off course, because their ship wasn't getting tossed around by the waves of feeling. No, it was tied to something much, much stronger. Their anchor was data.
And that anchor, that's their backtested data. See, it's not about the last 10 trades. It's about how their strategy performed over hundreds or even thousands of trades in the past. This data is the cold, hard, mathematical proof that their system has a real statistical edge in the long run.
So this is the really important part. It's a mental checklist they run through every single time. Step 1, you acknowledge the feeling. You feel the fear, the frustration. You don't pretend it's not there. Step 2, you make a conscious choice to set it aside, just for now. Step 3, you open up the spreadsheet, you look at your back-tested results, and you remind yourself that streaks just like this are totally normal, they're even expected within the system. And then step 4, you just execute the next trade. That's it, according to the plan. No emotion, just process.
Following that checklist, it creates this huge shift in how you see everything. Moving from feeling to thinking is probably the most critical skill in all of trading. It's about consciously, deliberately, adopting a statistical mindset.
Just look at the difference here. On one side, you have the emotional mind. It is completely obsessed with the outcome of this one trade. It's driven by fear of another loss or greed for a huge win, and it leads to chaos and impulse. But the statistical mind, it couldn't care less about this one trade. It's focused on the pattern of the next 1,000 trades. It feels neutral because it's just following a process. And the result? Discipline and long-term consistency.
So, why is this so powerful? Because it completely reframes the entire game. You stop trying to be a fortune teller who needs to be right on every single trade, and instead, you become the casino. You become the operator who knows with mathematical certainty that over thousands of hands, your statistical edge is going to play out. This is what makes discipline not just possible, but logical, even when you're deep in a drawdown.
Okay, so what does this all mean for you? How do you actually take this concept and apply it to your own trading? This right here is your path forward.
The ultimate transformation is this. You stop being an emotional reactor, getting jolted and knocked around by every win and every loss. Instead, you become a disciplined operator, someone who calmly, coolly executes a plan that you have already proven works over time.
You learn to trust the process, not the heat of the moment. In this next quote, I really want this to sink in. We are not in the business of predicting the future. We are in the business of execution. See, the hard work isn't clicking the button. It's all the stuff you do before that. The research, the backtesting, building the plan itself. The rest is just having the discipline to follow the rules you already set for yourself.
And that leaves us with one last question, and it's a big one you should ask yourself. When you put on a trade, are you acting like a gambler at the table, just betting on a feeling and a prayer? Or are you the house, coolly operating a system with a known statistical edge, understanding that over the long run you have the advantage? The choice is yours.